Hi, this is Klein Bricks, and I wanted to show off my Lego room. So, I have this kind of weird closet, giant closet, I guess, type space in my house that I made in my Lego room. So, we're just going to tour all of the parts and things, how I organize my collection, and what I'm building. Probably easiest to start with these two Acro Mills units that I installed most recently. There's lots of empty drawers, but a lot of plant parts in this top section, a lot of clip and bar pieces in the next kind of section down here. Fences. This kind of second unit is more for bricks. So you get your almost bricks, your ornate type bricks. I'm working on these labels. I don't have them put on all of the parts yet. I bought these from an old Bricklink store, hence the numbers. But we get down to our, some masonry, 1x4, and I have overstock of that somewhere else too. But your palisade bricks, your rounded plates, 1x3s, 1x4s, 1x2 rounded plates, your corner bricks, your rounded corners, hinge bricks, normal 2x2 corners, 1x16s, masonry of random colors, and I've got overstock of that, 1x12, 1x2 palisades, 1x2 grill, 1x5s, 1x2x2s, and then 1x2x5s, and our bricks as we talked about. This is what I do for my bulk bricks. So 1x1s in this giant bin. Got sorted by color sometimes when I get it from various places. Sometimes it is left in a bag. 1x3s back there, 1x6. My 1x2 is overflowing. 1x8, 2x2, 2x3, 2x6. No, yes, 2x6 and bigger, and this is like 2x10 and bigger rounded bricks, and then 2x4 is down there. We'll continue, we'll work from the top down, so we'll get back to some of the other stuff. Next night tiles, old mocks, other random set stuff, other mocks that I've done. I just spent like 10 hours cleaning off this bench top. It was a mess, but I wanted to do this. This is a mock that I'm working on for Brick Slopes 2026. Gonna be a back corner for a big space collab. So that'll be pretty cool. And then parts that I'm working on for that as well are back in those yogurt containers, because containers aren't cheap, but they are when you get them for free. Our pipe that comes down in the middle of this room, just threw some mini castles up there. Hocus Pocus house. There's a red 5X swing in the corner. But I guess we'll do this last. This is like round bricks type mini unit in here. Your round plates, your dishes, your cones, inverted dishes, all those kind of things are in there, turntables, and then we get our round cylinders pretty close by. So I try to group parts close to one another so that I'm going to one spot and I know where to look, really. And so this cabinet is basically clips and bars, small connector type things. That's the general general category of this. Your bars are hinge plates of all the different types. Hinge bricks. You get some of your older style hinges, your finger joints, those kind of things. Chains, all the gems and things, antennas, flags. Kind of eclectic in this unit, but it's all a work in progress. I'm moving things around. I have lots of, almost empty drawers and empty drawers that I can swap out and then label as I go as well. This is kind of overflow from over there. You have your modified plates, bricks. Arches are here in all the various sizes. Inverted arches, all those kind of fun things. And a lot of this is blank because it's moved elsewhere. Next we get into tiles. That's why the ingots are here, because I went through all of my large tile drawers with 1x2, 1x4, 1x6, 1x8. And then you get your 1x1, your 1x2 grill, 1x2 jumper, 2x2 jumper, 2x2s, pentagonal tiles, 2x4s, and 1x1 and 1/4 kind of circle tiles. Up here you get all your more kind of eclectic, 3x3, 2x2 round, heart tiles, with holes, with jumpers, half circles, 1x3s, 2x4 circular. These are just whatever you call those tiles. The new cutoff tiles that have been coming out recently, 2x3 tiles, inverted tiles, 1x4 with studs, 4x6 with studs, 2x4 with studs, 2x2 with studs. These are the rounded kind of pill ones, half circles. These are the cutout angle, and then the corners, and then the triangle corners, circles, medium circles, 4x4 circles. So all the tile is there. I like how that's set up. Just don't come out with more tile, Lego, because it fits there well. This is snot bricks or plates. So you got your bracket plates, your inverted and your non-inverted, some empty spaces for more stuff, your inverted brackets, your normal brackets, your two-sided stud, your Travis bricks, your stud on only, not opposite sides, but corner studs. I got some window glass. The windows used to be here. They moved somewhere else. I need to move those things. Hinge plates, more doors that needs to move. Your D-snot though. Your snot bricks, these kind of 2x plate snots that are inverted. These that have been on the pick-a-brick wall lately. That are, whatever you call those, two-sided bricks. I have all my food here. I don't really have a better place for it right now. Studded snot bricks, more snot bricks, 2 high headlight bricks, one-sided, 2x2 by 2/3, your brackets, your hinge plates, and then your 1x4s, and then normal brackets, 2x2, and inverted brackets. So that's this whole wall done now. Just to stop some fun things, I got a marbled brick here next to my original Jedi Bob and Django from a kid. All these cool geode pieces, some books from Ninjago, Overwatch stuff, metal I got from Brick Slopes, Colorado. There's some UCS plaques up there. Other random stuff, word I got from Denlug. Avatar The Last Airbender minifigs. Over here we have Legend of Zelda, obviously fan. Great Deku, some more awards, nominee from Brick World and various Brick Slopes awards. Badges, Viking Sail, X-Wing, Slave One, Smog is up there, the Bricklink Designer Program Mountain Fortress, next to Elsa's Ice Castle, why not? My Fellbeast gift with purchase that I never had the heart to open, but should, is back there. And I guess we'll address the elephant in the room, these. So I have almost all my parts separated by piece, and we'll finish going through those in a second. But these are some separated by piece, but also you can see some separated by color. And really, Mark from Lego Masters Season 2 talked about doing this, and I found it useful. Part of the time when I don't want to sort bricks, I can just throw it in by color. But also, if I know I need a specific color but don't know what shape I'm looking for, or I'm looking for random things, I can pull out these by color and then look. So top is transparent. I have 2 of red because red is pretty common. Same with yellow. My brown is overflowing because I also have brown Viking boat holes and things like that in there. This one's the random, I don't know, dark blue, magenta, salmon, gold, yeah, medium blue, purple, dark purple, like that's the random color bin. You get blue and then 2 bins for white because white's pretty common. Just like 2 bins for black. I guess I can open one of these. Some parts I have separated in baggies, so that I don't lose if they're all separated, I'll just put them in there, but a lot of the times that's not true. Gray, or I should say dark gray. I have not separated old dark gray and new dark gray, or dark bluish gray. I have done that with light gray, so this is all new light gray. And then this is all old dark gray, except for some baggies that wouldn't fit down here. But mostly old light gray, which is nice. Dark green landscapes. I like these bins. Flowers, or leaves, sorry, 3-leaf pieces, which are very pretty in all the various colors. And sometimes I'm lazy and just throw them in the bottom and don't separate them by color, but that's where they go. These are green ones, green 3-leaf pieces. For when I need those. And then these new kind of palm leaves that I've got and not done anything with yet. Maybe someday. Next we get 2 bigger leaf pieces. A lot of these were on mocks, which is why they've got, you know, leaves and sticks and stuff on them, but there's a bunch underneath that are just new, haven't been used. And then your olive green, smaller leaf pieces. So those are ready just to pull out if I need kind of the more muted color trees. This is bright green, some dark green and some normal green in here, and then pink that I was too lazy to separate into kind of the more whimsical drawer. So we have blue, because blue is cool, and greens and purples and pinks and whites and gold leaves, and that's magical forest building material there. Moving on. This is my kind of throwaway plant bin with all the old style bushes and palm trees, and I don't do much tropical stuff, so that's kind of what is in there. These are all stems. New type stems, old type stems, ones with flowers on, ones without. There's some flex tube in there too, apparently. But this is stems and flower building stuff. More stems that wouldn't fit above, and then all of these new 3-leaf pieces and some old ones in mostly light green. I'd prefer the dark green, but which is why I haven't used most of those. Orange, purple. I really like these tiles, so I get a lot of those. I like these too. That's a cool print. I got a bunch of them. I got like 6, 7, I don't know. Greens, this is only lime green and dark green. Nougat, which I threw in there for the video because I was being lazy, and then mostly dark tan in there. It's pretty full. Overflow, kind of water tiles, and then fern pieces. You get your buckets and things. I didn't have a better place for them. This is my overflow 2x4 masonry. Sand green and olive green. I just started this drawer. Animals, yay, animals. Animals are fun. My kids love playing in that bin, and so they don't stay in the animal bin often. Dark red. Finally got out of the random color bin. This is all my overflow 1x2 masonry, white from the pickerick wall, lots of dark reds and dark orange, light bluish gray for all the castles I build. I got some weird like nougat and other strange colors, dark gray, all those kind of things. In that one, tan just got its own bigger bin, and this is where the nougat is supposed to go. And then down here is fall colored leaves. So big leaves, dark red, I don't know, peat orange, whatever you're gonna call it. Yellow, bright light yellow, red, dark red and dark orange, and then mixture of regular orange leaves and things. Gonna be making a fall display coming up for Halloween after I finish my bricks builds. So, this next bin, this is all like old castle stuff and wall building things and arches. It's kind of just a throwaway castle drawer. This is like super big pieces. So super big pieces all go in the super big piece kind of drawer. These are kind of random. A lot of this bagged like by part came when I bought a really big collection that had a lot of these storage drawers already in it, and a lot of it was already sorted, which was kind of nice. And then I've been augmenting over the last 6 years. Fabric and electrical goes in here. Windows, yay, windows and doors. Everybody likes windows and doors, and they take up lots of space sometimes. I have so many of these 1x6 window frames and no doors or windows to go in them. Kind of sad. Just started this recently too, kind of separating these windows in here. So that's fun. I liked the idea to rip off the pick-a-brick edges and use that as a storage. So I think I'm going to be doing that more often. This is probably my only drawer that's separated by color and part type. So this is all 1x2 and 1x3 plates. And obviously separated by colors. Some are overlapping and stuff, but that goes in there, and then it goes back to the least used ones in the back, the blues and the oranges and yellows for 1x2s, but I like having it that way. Probably need some more space for some of these colors that are overflowing. These are random. This is all Lord of the Rings minifigs, mostly old. I guess there's a couple of new ones that got away from their sets and I threw in here. But I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so that's what's there. This is Star Wars minifigs. I separated them. I'm a Star Wars fan, you know, or I maybe used to be based on the new movies, but I don't like the kids playing with the Star Wars minifigs because they're so expensive and I just feel bad. And then these are things that I tend to be selling, have listed on Bricklink or are super expensive. And so they go in here, mostly when I don't know. I don't have a affinity or care for some of these guys, and I don't know. They're really expensive, so they go in there and I sell them and buy more Lego when I sell them. Seagrass and normal grass, as Lego would put it. This is where the flex tube is supposed to go. I don't know, the Lego Bionicle, Baraki, whatever things, or vines as the rest of the people, the spiky vines as everybody else knows them. Ferns, you saw my overflow ferns, and then bamboo there. You gotta love your chrome silver, chrome gold, very nice. And then this is flat silver and a brick separator, apparently. All right. Top is random stuff for kids to play with. This is other bags of fences, and I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff in there we're not gonna really be able to see, but it's random. I almost never use it. Large bricks, as it says, really old style large bricks, which can be useful. This is all my Technic things. I don't build Technic that often. I use it for support mostly, but I don't know. Technic pins, all the Technic lift arms and Technic bricks go in this one, and it's all just separated by bags because I really don't use it that often. It starts smallest in the front, biggest in the back, and lift arms are on the side, so they're kind of separated and easier to find. This is random, normally ground cover plate. So as you can, there's like a bazillion 16x16s in here, 8x16s. When I need to build mills plates or paths and things, this is the bin that I go to. And also because my other plate stuff is overflowing. Let's see. Slopes. So 1x2 slopes, 2x2 slopes, and then longer slopes in the back. You know, a cheap way to cut up a box and hot glue it in there is what I did on that to get those separated and use the whole kind of size of the drawer. So same thing here with inverted 1x2, 2x2, 2x3, the 1x3, and then the other slopes that aren't inverted. And I have overflow bags in lots of places. That's one of the things I do is I do this little dot. If I have a green dot in Sharpie next to the thing, I have an overflow bag somewhere else of more of that part type. Here's all my 2x6 plate. Sorry for the sound. Windows and doors, and more windows and more doors, and windows and doors. For building medieval things. Technic stuff that is just in this drawer. I don't know what to do with it, but it's here. Once again, kind of big slope type pieces, separated by part in bags. In that one, ooh, sand red, very pretty. Once again, big random parts, burps and lerps and corner burps. and boulders to throw at things, I guess. Base plates, normal base plates, half base plates, weird road plates. That's where the kids pull base plates from, and I very rarely do. Other random things that you have no idea where to sort because you have like 8 of them and you're never gonna get more because the molds are tired. And I've tried with these labels, and most of them are right. These are all the wheel wells. They probably need to not be there because that's kind of useful real estate. And all the wheels are way back in the corner here where you can't see them because I never use wheels. Wedge plates, angle plates, once again, kind of separated with cardboard by type. And then you want to put like kind of not similar types in together. So I have these corners and then these separate so that it's easy to pull out, you know, the ones that are not the same. Okay, here's where we get to plates. We'll start at the top because that's fun. 1x1s aren't actually in here, that's a lie. But it's 1x2 all the, well, no, I moved 1x2s over here now. And that label's wrong. So this is basically 1x4 all the way up to 1x12. And once again, there's cardboard separators. Once they can get stuck once they're full, especially with plates. They kind of jam in there and act like a, I don't know, a lock. So that's kind of a pain. Hence overflow drawers. 2x2, 2x3, overflow 2x3, and that looks like overflow 2x8 that I forgot that I had back there. This is all 1x4 now. Used to be 1x4 and 1x6, but I needed to separate those two. So they got separated in the labels and then they're done. Here's the 1x8 that's overflowing again. 1x10, 1x12 and bigger, 1x16. These were just Target bins. But hopefully I'll get a 3D printer at some point and be able to 3D print bins and not waste all this space. Here's 1x4 plate, and then 8x8s. No, that's 6x6. 8x8. Yeah, it is 8x8. You know, if I was going to do product placement type things, I might go like this, but I'm not going to. Not my product, just something cool. 4x6 plates, and then these ones sit on top of the larger 6, basically 6x whatever. And then the other thing that I have in here is 4x4s that sit on top of others, just to make the most of this kind of deeper drawer that I needed. So it isn't the best system, but it works. All right, let's see. Ooh, Pretty Rose window mock, that was fun. Ninjago stuff. I love building things, but I don't have space for everything. So like I built all the Ninjago sets and then I sold them again, and now I'm building the mini ones and can keep those because they don't take up so much space. Okay, I guess we'll finish the top display. Mario stuff, I love Nintendo Kid. Kind of fun. Question mark block. A-Wing, I don't know, Clone Wars, Mando thing. Star Wars sets, I'm still missing the Forest one, the Endor one. Rock monsters are super cool. The Shire poster, and then that's from Brick World, movement stuff. So finishing off these Acro Mills cabinets. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but this is little Technic stuff. I thought that I would never use this drawer. I don't often use the drawer because I don't do all that much Technic stuff, but it's kind of really nice to have. And so that's why I keep it, especially having all of the axles separated by length has been really nice. Levers, axle bricks, flexible things, bionicle Baraki eyes, flick fire missiles, teeth piece, corners, you know, panels, more panels, fences, rails, more rails, not more flexible things. It's kind of interesting. Groove, pin connectors, all the string stuff that you don't know what to do with. Arms, you know, other skeleton battle droid arms, ladders, weird wedge plates, new longer corners, and those are really only there because these corners are here. Claws, dinosaur tails, flames. I have no idea why this is here. It's a holdover from when I bought it. Because that's not really useful, and that's also not really useful, and that should probably go in a bag and magnet pieces, because magnet pieces are actually kind of cool, but I never use them. 1x1 round I use a lot. The rest of my 1x1 rounds are somewhere else. 1x1 rounds with holes, 1x1 plate, which I use a lot of, cheese slopes, your boxes, 1x1 round, axle bricks. We already talked about our full brick rounds, empty drawer. These are bricks that have the axle connector in them. Panel pieces. Almost done. Trapdoors, wedge pieces, top, bottom, all those things, hinges, doors, empty, technical, ladders, all these cool rock pieces. I don't know. I like those parts, so I got a bunch. Wedge plates, more wedge plates, and we're kind of getting into wedge plates. I have some weird random things I wouldn't fit in other drawers here. Your click fingers, those kind of things, fencing. I have 2 spots for these fences, now that I noticed that I'm going through all these. And I have 2 spots for this. Interesting. Wedge pieces, more sand red, which is a nice color. Windows that probably need to go somewhere else, and wagon wheels, which probably need to go somewhere else. I recently redid this. Here's all the slopes. Your sharp corner slopes, your 45 slopes, your inverted corner slopes. These weird things that I'm never going to use probably. These other new weird things that I'm probably going to use. Pointy slopes and pyramids and square corners. Cheese grates, 1x4. These are the new super long ones. These are smooth slopes. These are the kind of rectangular ones. There's lefts and rights in each drawer, like I did with that, just separated in the middle. Inverted corner slopes, wedge, all the kind of new wedges, inverted stuff, 2x2, 45-degree peaks. I don't have very many of these. This is the only drawer. I need to buy a lot more of these in various colors because they're very useful. Once again, slopes that I don't use very much. Pinnacle slopes, an empty drawer. Now getting from slopes into curves. Get all your various curve pieces, bigger curves, and then it goes back into inverted slopes, regular slopes. So slopes and curves in my mind are kind of all the same, so they get put in the same spot. Double cheese slopes, big slopes. Then I figured angled plates kind of fit in my mind with slopes, and so there's some overflow from slopes from over here, and angled plates go here. You get your 4x4, your 3x3s, wedge stuff, these whatever corner 45s, more slopes. This should probably be on that side, but you know, maybe I'll do that. More wedge plates, more slope stuff and wedge plates, kind of overflow. These are all like the new super crazy squirrely ones that I don't know, haven't really used all that much yet, but probably will. So that's how I sort bricks. And, you know, going through it like this, I've noticed a lot of duplicates I have. But I guess before I close this, we should talk about all minifigure accessories that I have in this bin. And then I use this box for minifig hair, hat stuff. And then I use this one for actual minifigures. So heads, decorated torsos. Those are kind of complete figs. So that's the fig boxes that I use now. They're kind of nice. This is all my printed parts and stickers. It's kind of a huge pain to dig through, and I'll need to find a better solution, but right now I don't have one. Dinosaur parts and dragons, because dinosaurs and dragons are cool. This is most of a second Lion Knight's castle that I have, and then some Star Wars figs. This is the kids' figs that they can play with and stuff, and sometimes I use, but there's like a lot of figs here, so that's fun. This is bulk that I need to sort through. This is the kids' Mario stuff. I don't even know what's in this bottom one. Oh, I think it's sets that are bagged that I've built or taken down. That's what these 2 drawers are set. Like, there's a Red 5 X-Wing in here, the rest of it. Harry Potter Hogwarts, stuff like that. That's the Tower Bridge I've been porting out. There's some Native American stuff. I don't know, all these Hogwarts Harry Potter sets from when I was a kid. It all just kind of got thrown in here. Oh, that's the smog set. This is my overflow bin. So it's kind of cool. But like all of a part type that I have overflow for goes in here. And then there's the dot on the actual thing so that I can find it. But if I have a lot of something and it needs to be stored somewhere, it's where it's stored. Headlight bricks. You probably don't want to see all of this, so we'll just go. There's a lot of parts in here, and they're interesting, sort of, and most of it's just parts that are overflow. I bought all the Nexonite sets at one point. That's what's in here. There's some Light My Brick stuff and some other, the flower bouquet to part out and things like that. These are all my medieval armies. I don't really let the kids play with this all that much, but there's like lots of medieval figs and things. This tends to be like the one-off stuff in this drawer, accessories and things. And then this drawer is kind of the stuff separated by armies. So there's all the CMF Batlord, and all the CMF trolls, helmets, and then there's kind of a good guy army bag, there's a bad guy army bag, there's falconeers. That looks like a bad guy army bag. So if I need just bad guy medieval stuff, I know where to look. Black Falcons. I got a Raven Knight in there. More Raven Knights. Green Dragon Knights. I really like medieval stuff. There's some fake Raven Knight stuff or some off-brand Hunter. That's my giant bag of those knights that I have 200 of. And then these are townspeople, medieval townspeople stuff. So that's what that is. I have a big empty drawer. This is kind of tree building 101. So if I need tree building parts, it generally is in here in quantity. For browns, this is trunk building, not leaf building. Tends to be. So I don't really have a better way to do that right now, but that's what's in there. This is a mock, so it's like a, I don't know, 40,000 brick mock that I am building and like 95% done with. Hence all, this is basically leftovers slash, I designed it on an LDD, and then this is all the parts that I sourced for it. This is second Death Star. Ooh, all from when I was a kid. It just lives in there. And with that, not very climactic, I don't know, ending, that's everything in my Lego room. So I've really enjoyed people's, showing off their Lego room. I thought I'd do the same. I guess I have some more bins of medieval stuff down there, but it doesn't really matter. Thanks for watching. If you actually made it all the way through this, another, I don't know, ulterior motive to doing this tour is if, anything happens, insurance purposes. Yay, things are documented. I don't have all the sets in the mess in my office documented, but I have my Lego room documented. So got to start somewhere. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.